bro. Ooh, I know what to do. We can react to this things that are happening with a young thug. Young thug. Young thug situation. Damn, I can't spell for shit. Career over. Should we react to a 30-minute long video or should we react to someone else? Oh yeah, this nigga always makes.
Young Thug had a problem.
This nigga always makes banger videos, but I hate the fucking start of his videos. He's always like, "See, Young Thug had a problem." Like, shut the fuck up,
so Young Thug,
please.
while he was in jail,
I'm just playing.
RICO charge. He made a couple phone calls. These phone calls have been leaked. That's his problem. Because in these phone calls, he's talking to a lot of people about a lot of things, and he
talked about fucking botting views. He talked shit about other people. He said that, what is her name again? He said that Glorilla was ugly. Bro, how are people leaking shit? I don't get it, bro. Rappers always get their music leaked or something else leaked. How are people... Nigga, have you not seen what's going on right now? It's all over social media, bro. Plus, he allegedly snitched.
They're private.
He snitched on YSL, his own group. Shit crazy, bro. 6ix9ine came out and got millions of views talking about the situation, saying that Thug is a snitch and all that. Like, bro, this situation is crazy. Glorilla is not ugly, bro. What are you talking about? I love Glorilla. I think she fine as hell, bro. But she got a yam nose. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Damn, here she looks good as fuck. Ooh. Glorilla. Ooh. Here she looks good too.
Phone calls, so he's sharing his private conversations. And think about yourself. Think about private conversations you've had in the past. You talking to somebody really.
Search Glorilla fish, bro. No disrespect my fucking queen like that, bro. You tweaking. Glorilla fish. No, I'm not trying to do that, bro. She might see this in the future. Glorilla fish. Alright, bro.
Really close to you. Some of that audio you don't want leaked out. Well, in Young Thug's case, he's talking about some very sensitive.
I'm deleting, bro. I'm taking that shit away, bro. I'm editing that shit out of my fucking.
Don't
video,
want
bro.
Leaked out. Well, in Young Thug's case, he's talking about some very sensitive information. Like he got no care in the world. Now, to go a little deeper, there's actually two aspects to Young Thug's problem. Listen to this next part closely. There are the jail leaks that we just talked about. And there's another leak. Now, why I call this two separate incidents is because they happen.
But phone calls? Nah. I guess some phone calls from jail gets recorded and shit by the people themselves. But jails always record phone calls in jail and store that shit at a database, I think. That might be how people get it. Or people might just fucking hack your devices, because... How the fuck are you getting the files from prison? How are you getting the audio and video of someone's phone call in prison? That belongs to the police. How are people hacking police too?
At separate times, okay? All the jail calls that were leaked happened when he was facing his RICO charge, okay?
Yes, sir.
The other leak where he's talking to police happened way before he was arrested for a RICO charge. That's important. Now, during the jail calls, he's just a little gossipy. Remember, he talking to his friends, his homies. He really think, hey, this ain't gonna get out. So he basically saying stuff like, Gucci Mane, maybe he's soft. He said, now, keep in mind, a lot of this stuff is clipped. And why I say that is because specifically for the Gucci Mane example.
Wait, Jack, can y'all hear the... Kan du höra blessed?
I'm telling you, The clip going around is Young Thug calls.
Let me know if I should put my speakers closer to my
there's
mic.
a little more to it than that. Young Thug is more or less saying Gucci Mane was mad at somebody.
Hold on, I gotta.
Let me know if I should put
Oh, okay, I can hear the fucking audio from the video. I bet.
Gucci Mane went to jail. Gucci Mane got out of jail, and he stopped being mad at that person. Gucci Mane is soft for not being mad at that person anymore. Maybe he went to jail and turned soft. Now, I bring that up not to defend Young Thug because he called him soft still, but I want you to understand that there's still more context to this stuff. It's not, he's just not straight up just coming out talking smack about people. You know what I'm saying? All that to say, most of Young Thug's jail calls are surrounding that. It's just, you know, he's been a little messy, nothing too crazy. Now, there's one call in particular that gives a little insight into Atlanta as a whole. Young Thug is speaking to his close friend 21 Savage. Young Thug is speaking about what Gunna did during the RICO trial. If you don't know what a RICO trial is, it's basically they gather up members of a group and they categorize the whole group as a criminal organization. Okay, so they pull in Gunna, they pull in Young Thug, they pull in a bunch of people.
1300 Saints. Who else?
To label them as a criminal organization, you have to have.
I forgot to list the names of all the YSL people.
Now, usually in RICO trial, police and the feds, they're just.
Wait, what did he say?
Organization. To label them as a criminal organization, you have to have people in that organization say this is a criminal organization. Now, usually in RICO trial, police and the feds, they're just going for the person at the top. This was created for the mafia.
YSL.
For the mafia boss instead of like the lower level folks. In this case, it was Young Thug. So they gathered up Gunna and a bunch of people from YSL and said, look, all you need to tell us is YSL, Young Thug's record label, is a criminal organization. All of y'all walk away. Now, if every single person in YSL said this is not a criminal organization, everyone walks away. But that's not realistic, right? So the lawyers are scrambling together and saying, boy, if you don't say it's a criminal organization, Gunna said, it's a criminal organization. Gunna and multiple people in YSL said it is a criminal organization. So Young Thug's case was kicked off. So Young Thug in jail after this happens.
Wait, did other people also say it?
Multiple people in YSL said it is a criminal org after this
Jesus! So his whole gang snitched?
He's talking to 21 Savage and he's saying he cannot believe Gunna did that.
He's very
upset. 21 Savage telling him, well, I don't think Gunna did it to hurt you. It just made sense for Gunna to do that. Young Thug says he doesn't care. It broke his heart. 21 Savage brings up a very good point. He says, well, didn't you tell your brother to do the same thing as Gunna to say YSL is a criminal organization so we can get 0 years? Young Thug denies this, but Young Thug actually did tell his brother to.
Wait, what? My brother would have rolled the whole trip out, but when them guys took the plea, I told my brother to take it too. Nigga had just did 12 years and I ain't want to put my mama through that again.
So
Free
your
funk.
brother to do the same thing as Gunna to, he says, well, didn't you tell you broke his heart? 21 Savage brings up a very good point. He says, well, didn't you tell your brother to do the same thing as Gunna to say YSL is a criminal organization so we can get 0 years? Young Thug denies this, but Young Thug actually did tell his brother to do that. So it seems that Young Thug saw the reasoning as to why somebody would say it's a criminal organization, but he just felt hurt hearing Gunna say it. He expected more loyalty from Gunna. Now, I say this because remember in the beginning of this video, we said Young Thug basically has two problems. His jail calls were leaked, and then earlier recording of him talking to police were leaked. Well, people are basically saying, look, you're upset at Gunna for talking
That's crazy.
to police. Everybody was calling him a snitch. Young Thug, you calling him a snitch. But you was talking to police too. What's going on?
Oh yeah, I saw a video where they like leaked something of him sitting at a place or something and told police, I'll tell y'all everything y'all want, just don't leak it. Like what?
Now, first, Young Thug's conversation with police is way
Not my
before
goat.
this RICO situation. This conversation is taking place because Lil Wayne's tour bus had just recently been shot up by a man named Pee Wee Roscoe. Basically, police were trying to connect some dots, okay? So they bring in Young Thug and they tell him, Young Thug, Tugga, as some may refer you as, you don't need to talk to us. They stress to Tugga that he does not need to speak to them. They stress this because They don't want all this information they have to be locked down later by a lawyer saying Young Thug didn't have his lawyer present, all that. So they tell him, you don't have to speak to us. Young Thug says that. They say, you really don't have to speak to us. They say it like 5 times, I'm telling you. Young Thug says, no, I want to. And this is when people say, oh, there you go, Young Thug. You could have just got your lawyer. You could have just walked out, which Young Thug absolutely should have done. Because side note, police brought him in because his name, Young Thug's name, was connected to Pee Wee Roscoe, Lil Wayne, to the whole shooting situation. They already booked Pee Wee Roscoe. They already had evidence against Pee Wee Roscoe. They just wanted to see if they can get Young Thug too. The police kicked things off by being real cool, you know. Officer goes, they always do that, bro. Listen to your music. Thug goes, really? He says, yeah, man. You want some?
Bro, police always do that, and people are still fucking falling for the bait. Niggas be stupid as shit.
You hungry? Thug goes, yeah, I can use some food. Get my boy some food. That's Thugger. Nah, but seriously though, you know Pee Wee Roscoe? Thug goes, I mean, listen, write that down. Thug said, officer. Oh, don't worry about that. That's just a formality. And therein lies the issue. You see, the problem with Young Thug speaking to police and people speaking to police without lawyers present is because you don't know what the police are looking for.
Bro, how are people folding under pressure when they're talking to police? Just deny everything, bro. And sit still. Don't fiddle with your fingers. Don't move your feet around too much because they're gonna see he's fiddling with his feet. He's like moving his feet. He's nervous. When you're talking to police, deny everything or be completely silent, bro. That way they can't get you. And relax your body. Feel how your heart is thumping and beating mad fast, but still remain calm. Even if you feel like you need to move, stay neutral, bro. Even if it takes hours, so that you don't snitch.
At this point, the police seem to be.
Because if the police sees that you're like peeling your skin and shit and like getting nervous, that's already a weak sign from you, bro. They see that as a crack and then boom, they go into action immediately and start questioning you and tear you down mentally until you give information out.
General framework as to what they wanted to work with of the goings on in Atlanta, in a sense, to build a sort of a file. It's hard to know why police are asking certain questions. For example, at one point, Young Thug seems to be trying to help Pee Wee Roscoe. He says, I thought Pee Wee Roscoe and Lil Wayne were close friends. And then I hear they are saying Pee Wee Roscoe had shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus. I was shocked. Young Thug is saying that. He thought they were friends. Fast forward to today's time, to recent times, Pee Wee Roscoe comes out with a video saying, in his opinion, Young Thug was trying to help him by throwing the police off, by saying Pee Wee Roscoe and Lil Wayne were friends, everybody cool. Okay, let's go back to the tape. Again,
I guess you could say that,
Young
but
Thug and Pee Wee Roscoe, they're not playing the game that police and lawyers are playing. Police are taking that information and saying, okay, Lil Wayne friends with Pee Wee Roscoe. I don't believe that. Let's throw that away. The police say, okay, so Young Thug, you don't really know Pee Wee Roscoe like that.
See, that's why you don't gotta, bro. That's why you can't talk to the police at all. They don't believe you, bro. Just be silent, please. Like, see how Thug said that Pee Wee Roscoe and Lil Wayne was friends? The police just said, nah, I don't believe that. They just threw the words behind them and then moved on.
That's what I said. I don't. I said, okay. But Pee Wee Roscoe says that you paid him to shoot up Lil Wayne's tour bus. Young Thug says, man, Pee Wee Roscoe ain't said that. They said, oh, I thought you didn't know. Young Thug said, they said, write that down.
See, like, bro, the police are mad smart, bro. They backtrack on the words that you say, and then like,
Young Thug said,
hold on.
Write that down.
Wait. Let me move my camera real quick. Let me just move it down here. I think that's good.
How can you speak to somebody that you don't know? What's going on?
They be lying too. They make you trip. On God.
I ain't say that. Like,
they just trap you, bro.
I just know he wouldn't say that. They said, cool. And That's the information police are looking for. That's why you need
To make you trip.
a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
They're just fishing for connections. They say, "Hey, aren't you a part of a gang? Don't you say that in your songs?" They know he's gonna say no. He says no.
And I learned that shit too from watching like crime vids and Death Notes. If y'all know Death Notes, no, I mean if y'all don't know Death Notes, I'm sorry for spoiling. Spoiler alert. But Kira. No, okay, so it starts off with Light Yagami. He's in school and he sees a notebook fall from the sky. And then it hits the schoolyard in the middle. And then Light Yagami waits until the school is done to go and get the notebook. And then he takes it home. And then he just hears something he just sees something at the corner of his eye. And then he turns around and it's a Shinigami. For those of you that don't know what a Shinigami is, they're like gods of death or something. They're not in heaven or hell. They're in a place for like their own realm for Shinigamis. But then he ends up going on a killing spree. Like he learns about the notebook and how to kill people and yada yada yada. And then a special detective that's really good at cases, solving cases and shit. He basically tries to outsmart like Yagami, but then people start fucking coming up with a name for Light Yagami, and then he's Kira, and then Lights has to find out. Then L has to find out. L is the detective that is working on cases, and he's like the smartest detective in the whole world. He starts trying to find out who Kira is and whatever, and then yeah, there's just a whole lot of shit going on. And, like they're so good at like listening and picking out small things, like detectives do. Like if you say something wrong, you might be Kira, like the killer, or whatever. Yeah.
All right, cool. We just thought.
Holy shit, that was a lot of yapping.
We'd ask. Birdman, is he part of the game? Young Thug said no. They said cool. We just thought we'd ask. Now, all this to say, this is the game that Young Thug and police are playing during this call. At the end of the.
But if you're gonna talk with police, you gotta listen to yourself before you speak. Like you gotta think mad fast. You gotta be so quick to think of words to say to throw off the police or not to repeat yourself. Like when the police said, do you know who this certain individual is? And Young Thug said, nah, I think he's cool with Lil Wayne and shit. And the police said, nah, we don't believe that. Nah, never mind. I don't remember
Young
what the police
said.
said.
Hey, if y'all want to know any more information, just hit me up. But don't tell people that I spoke to you, and that is very important because
that's the video I was speaking about.
The Young Thug
talking about
allegations, because whole time he could say, didn't y'all listen to the call? I was trying to throw the police off. I wasn't telling them the truth, which he wasn't. But him telling them, if you need more information, call me. Now you can say another theory. Now you can say Young Thug is thinking, maybe I'll cooperate in the future. Maybe Young Thug having a conversation with police without his lawyer in the first place is to show how quote unquote cooperative he can be. Maybe he's worried about his name being connected to this whole shooting. So he's saying, look, if you get more info, just hit me up first and I'll clear it up for you. Which is basically the job of an informant. But I stress that.
Yeah, on God, like you can't say that. Like, bro, you can't do that, bro. That's snitching, bro. But low key, is it really snitching though? I know it's only picking and choosing, cause when 6ix9ine did this, or he didn't do this, he I don't remember what he did, but the people that he was snitching on wasn't really his friends. He caught one of them fucking his wifey, bro. He caught one of his homies fucking his bitch. And they did him dirty, and a lot of stuff just happened. So that's not really snitching, bro. Like, niggas are just picking and choosing who they think is a snitch or a pedophile in this music industry, bro. Like with Non-Vicious and another rapper called Lifeless Garments, or now his name is Five Eva, or Forever or whatever. Yeah, he got caught texting minors. It's all alleged, but Non-Vicious did the same, and Non-Vicious is still in the music industry with a lot of listeners. But Lifeless Garments, aka Vamp Leak, aka Five Eva, got less listeners and shit on Spotify and other social medias and stuff.
So what was actually going on through Young Thug's head? And he also knows it's absolutely not a good look to be talking to police in the first place. So again, he tells them, look, this conversation stays between us, right? They say, Young Thug, you think we walk around telling people after we broke bread with you, we sat here, we ate with you, we listened to your music, we like this. Fingers crossed. Thug said, okay, we tight. Y'all not gonna tell the world. They said, fingers crossed, we're not gonna tell the world. And well, this videotape recently was released. So let's wrap this up and really dig deep into this situation.
Why would you agree to, or why would you be friendly with police, bro?
His jail calls were released and recordings of him speaking to police were released. During the jail calls, he explains why he was upset at Gunna and why he believes Gunna was a snitch. 21 Savage questions that. 21 Savage tells him he does not believe Gunna did the right thing, but he does not think things were personal. Young Thug says, no, Gunna is a snitch. Turns out Young Thug's brother took the same deal as Gunna.
Yeah, I've heard about that too before this whole case.
Well, Young Thug says his brother is not a snitch. Encouraged his brother to took the same deal as Gunna. In fact, Young Thug encouraged his brother to take that deal. But Young Thug says his brother is not.
But yeah, I don't think his brother or Gunna is a snitch. Like if they say that that YSL is a criminal organization, what is that gonna do? Like if they don't have evidence of stuff that Young Thug and his crew has done, then how is that snitching? And how is it snitching? Like Young Thug, how is it snitching if Gunna did the same thing to protect himself and not get a lot of years in jail, when your brother did the same thing and you encouraged him? Just like this nigga in the clip is doing right now. Just like 21 Savage said when he questioned Young Thug about
a snitch. A recording of Young Thug is also released where he's speaking to police saying, hey, hit me up later if y'all want some more info, all that. But he says, I am not a snitch. Gunna is the only snitch in this situation. So it really begs the question, what is a snitch? And the answer is, I don't know. Some people think it's when you talk to police. Some people think if you're a civilian, you can talk to police, you're not a snitch. I don't know. I personally believe this situation.
Yeah, if you're a civilian and someone comes up to you and robs you and you call the police and then you give out information on who did it, and you give a whole description of the person and you're not gang affiliated or nothing, and if that person that robbed you is not in the same gang as you or whatever, or your friends, that's not snitching. That's... Bro, niggas are so weird, bro.
I think people tend to create their own reality when it suits them. Gunna is a snitch because he hurt me. That's what I think Young Thug is really trying to say. In fact, he says to 21 Savage, Gunna broke my heart. His brother can't be a snitch because he didn't want his brother to go to jail. Young Thug can't be a snitch because in his mind, allegedly, maybe, I'm speculating, that he's trying to trick the police and throw them off. He's shaping his own reality into what's a snitch and what's not a snitch. You know what I mean? But regardless, the overwhelming consensus online is Young Thug called Gunna a snitch. Meanwhile, the whole time he was speaking to police, Young Thug is a hypocrite.
Yeah. All right, ladies and